Are we on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Microphone check. Lights. Cameras. Hit me. This is swanky. This is lifestyle. This is culture. Welcome to the social center of everything culture. Culture Daily.
And in running the numbers up, we want to say thank you for joining us today and always on the Culture Daily Morning Show. Shouts to everybody who joins us on our socials, on X3 Music Networks, on Instagram 3 Music TV, on YouTube 3 Music Networks, as well as on TikTok 3 Music Lifestyle, and on Snapchat 3 Music Live. We really appreciate you all. And for those tuned into Plus 89.9 FM and 3 Music TV as well, shout to you all. Okay, we are going to get into the conversation with Ekow Barnes really soon, talking fashion. But before that, Ekow Barnes Shades of Love is happening on the 14th of February. That's in a few weeks. If you want to grab your tickets, you can do that now. It's going for 300 cedis regular, 500 VIP, 750 VVIP. Or if you want table reservations, you can call 0246 466 700. You can also dial star 714 star 2020 hash if you want to buy your tickets. I'll take that again, star 714 star 2020 hash. It is Shades of Love, and it's going to be happening at the Palms Convention Center. That's located at the La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. This is where the symphonies of love and high life music meet. You don't want to miss out on this experience. Let's share the music and also bask in love.
All right, in basking in love, you have to love yourself and protect yourself from germs and bacteria with confidence, okay? Now, Cleanse Hand Soap effectively kills 99.9% of germs with every use. Perfect for all your hand washing movements throughout the day. Available in a variety of invigorating variants and delightful flavors. Aloe vera, strawberry, vanilla, honey, antibacterial, and chocolate. Since it's the season of love is coming close, I think you should be getting the chocolate, right? Choose your favorite for yourself, your family, and your friends. Make Cleanse your daily essential. Stay clean with Cleanse, the GC brand. It's all about you. Now, also, again, for you, if you want a British degree at a fraction of the cost, or a vibrant student experience in a community that equips you with useful employability skills to take you a step closer to the career of your dreams, well, you can get all of this and more at Lancaster University, Ghana. You will be taught by the finest faculty trained to UK standards at their ultra modern campus. And so to reach out to them, you can use their website. That's www.lancaster.edu.gh, or contact them via email, admissions@lancaster.edu.gh, or call them on 020-960-7008, 020-960-7008. Lancaster University, Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
Now, you can't go to the Lancaster customer care with foul breath, okay? You need to have you need to make sure that your breath is fresh. And in order for you to do that, you have to use Pepsodent charcoal and Pepsodent herbal toothpaste. Okay, now every time we eat food, and sugars are trapped between our teeth, leading to tooth decay, gum disease, and in some cases, like Esopha constantly says, halitosis. Okay, now brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsodent charcoal and Pepsodent herbal toothpaste helps a lot. Now, Pepsodent charcoal is made of a fine blend of fluoride with a unique combination of natural charcoal, lemon, mint, and zinc to whiten your teeth, strengthen them, and remove bad odor from your mouth. Charcoal white gently polishes away tooth stains and naturally restores your bright smile. Now, for herbal lovers, try Pepsodent herbal toothpaste, which is infused with a unique blend of green tea and herbal extract formulated to repair and protect your gums while giving an all-round cooling sensation. Pepsodent herbal releases, repairs, and protects gum tissue while giving you strong teeth. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsodent has been educating Ghanaians on how to brush their teeth for 25 years. It is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association, and Pepsodent gives you the opportunity to talk to a dentist dentist for free by calling their toll-free number 0800-161-000 to talk to a dentist for free. You can also get Pepsodent at any shop near you or call their customer care center on toll-free number 0800-200030. Pepsodent, every smile matters. Now, Lenny, when you said shades of love, what is the shade of love? And Issy said her shade is red. Me, this is mine.
Hey. What's going on? You continue. Why?
Anyway, Betway also has something for you now. It says we've all been there. You've placed a perfect multi-bet and it's going your way until it's not, and one or more picks let you down. Well, with Betway's Bet Saver feature, you can win even if your bet misses. Even on multiple losses, you can get your bet back and more. Bet Saver exclusive to Betway. Get way more. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway. Get way more.
Get way more on the Telecel app or the Telecel network as well. Okay, you can join. Get onto the Telecel Play app, or you can visit www.telecel.com.gh to subscribe to Telecel's fixed broadband for some amazing offers. You can dial *900#, or you can also get into a Telecel retail outlet and get connected today. Now, the good news about this is for new customers who are getting signed on to the fixed broadband, you get 50% bonus in addition to other mind-blowing offers. And for existing customers as well, you get 300% bonus data on every broadband renewal to keep browsing. Remember that this is Telecel's fixed broadband, and you can also experience non-expiry bundles, data transfers across devices, and a lot more. Okay, it is only on Telecel, but remember that terms and conditions apply, and we say that we connect energies with Telecel. Now, Ekow Barnes is guest on the show this morning, and we're going to be talking about exploring the global fashion industry. Hello, Ekow. You're welcome. Good morning.
Hi, Lenny. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Ekow, your journey into fashion. Let's look at that first, and then we get into talking about music and fashion. But first, the journey.
Okay. I think I'll be very brief today. I started off as a model, and in between modeling, I realized that there was something more I could do, because whenever I was on set, it was mainly like I was a bit tired. Like, if I say tired in the sense that photographers, videographers are directing and whatnot, but also I realized that sometimes I could also see the vision. So I'll be like, oh, I think we can do it this way. But I didn't know that I'll call it maybe a calling, because it was more to it than what I was doing. So at some point, my last season for Cape Town Men's Fashion Week, I met the editor then for GQ, South Africa, and I spoke to him that I really love how they do their thing, like having to come for Fashion Week and sitting just in front of being in front rows and just taking pictures of models coming backstage and all.
Yes.
And he said it was a lot of work, so he gave me his card and I took it. Came back to Ghana, but then every now and then, every October, my best friends and I, we used to go for Lagos Fashion Week, which I still do. And I was like, going for Lagos Fashion Week, having to go just to model or maybe just be on streets. I've never seen Ghanaians, I've never seen African stories being on the global forefront where you get to see Paris Fashion Week like street style. So I was like, let me use this hook and pitch to him. So I came together with my friend Meolatha, shout out to him, and we did a story together on that, even though it wasn't paid, because it was more like a probationer thing for me where I think he was trying me. So after that, I used that story as my first byline, and the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
Now, talking history, because you mentioned that you approached the GQ guy, what is his role again?
He was the editor for GQ.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think that Ghanaians are quote unquote comfortable in whatever space they are in, and they don't grasp opportunity, or they don't even see opportunity in anything beyond wherever they are. Because I'll make a reference to this and say that we say so much that, oh, we don't, maybe some people in the space, don't put themselves out a lot. We don't have as many people front facing when it comes to the fashion space, or maybe even entertainment, right? Do you think that we don't take opportunity, or we just let it go because they say that we are very reserved people?
Yeah, I'll start from the reservation. I think we are, as a people, because even for me growing up personally, I was very shy. I felt very boxed, because I'll come up with something and family will not because they didn't want good for me, but you know how in Chi or Accra, you don't need to ask a certain questions. But now looking back, I realized that it wasn't really helpful, because it's more like they tend to shield you, and if care is not taken, or you don't get an experience, you might just be like, and that's how a lot of us as Ghanaians sometimes, we are even scared to ask questions when things are wrong, and everyone is more like, oh, yes, please, this,
Go
that.
with the flow.
Yeah, going with the flow. But that's not how it's done in the world, because when you wake up now, it's 6 o'clock somewhere, it's 7 somewhere, everyone is moving on. We have the same time. So if you think you being reserved will make you get out there, unless maybe you want to be like, your life is just more like you situating yourself here. But if you really want to go out there, I think you really need to put yourself out there. And as Ghanaian creatives, or even in general, we really need to stop this whole mentality of, let me be in my space, they'll come to me. No.
They won't come to you if you don't put yourself out there. Yeah. Can you share with us a bit of your journey with GQ? I mean, you've mentioned that you are no longer with GQ, but obviously that also catapulted you further up the ladder when it comes to the fashion industry. So some of your highlights, working with GQ.
I mean, they were really amazing. I still love them. We are family, so I can always... I recently just did a story for last year, so I can always go back to them, because I started off as a freelance writer, so I get commission. It was really an experience. One of my highlights was when we did a story with Davido.
Okay.
And for this, I've forgotten the album. This is something around good. I've forgotten.
Is it his Timeless album?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was a good time. It was really very impactful, like having to see. And when Nigerians, like, their fan base is crazy. Like, I remember when the story came up and his PR team, or I don't know, like, they shared, right there within like 10 minutes, my Instagram was just blowing up and all that. And it wasn't even about that, but like the fact that someone really appreciates, and that's one thing I'll give credit to, like, they tend to appreciate creatives more when you work with them. And it's
Nigerians, you mean? Okay.
It's more like they want to put you out there, and Nigerians might not like you, but because of, let's get the work done. And that's one thing that I really learned the hard way with them, because they love to network. They love to, like, this is what I can do. Davido doesn't need me to catapult his career, but like, why would his team, and shout out to Amara, want to work with me for GQ on that?
Yeah.
When I got that opportunity, I was really excited, and so when I pitched it to GQ, they were like, "Yeah, let's do it."
That's
so that
really
was one.
exciting.
And
interesting.
There's been so many stories, like almost 20 plus stories with them. I can't really. I feel like every story with them has been very impactful, and I'm really grateful to God and to them for the opportunity. Yeah.
Because you mentioned Davido, let me just chip in that in recent times we've seen the artists get into the fashion space and also just get on the fashion weeks and everything a lot more, which I am excited about, because I see the opportunity where an artist can, again, like I said yesterday, for those who listened, can meet up with a very big designer and then they can collaborate, right? Beyond an artist collaborating with a fashion designer, I'm also seeing that now, because a lot more artists are getting into that space, you can meet another person that you've been wanting to work with for a really long time and collaborate with them. But what are your thoughts on that? We've seen Blacko do it recently as well. We've seen Stone Boy, go to Paris Fashion Week. So what are your thoughts on our artists getting into that space?
I'm all up for it, and I think it's something we really need to encourage. Again, we need to stop this whole, maybe I'm too big, or they need to come to me. even the big arts, the how do I call it, A-list superstars, they have a PR team, they have managers who are always trying to put their talent out there. Yeah. For Paris Fashion Week happening, I was really happy to see the likes of Blacko. I remember last year he worked for Off-White, and that was one thing that was really exciting. Beyond the runway, also it's really good for artists to like be there. Like you said, you just might never know. I remember last year, and when I was in Paris, I saw Stoneboy's team and what they were doing, which is really plausible because we don't see a lot of us doing that, and we need more artists going that side to show, because you just might never know. You are wearing their stuff, they see you, you're also a global star, and maybe, who knows, the Gucci's and all these guys, oh, I love what he's wearing, I would want to have him on my show, I would want to use him as my global ambassador, because it's not just, every now and then, the big brands are always signing new art for like their ambassadorial stuff. Why can't we be part, like, oh, we have a phase of Adidas coming from Ghana, like Gucci and all that, Bottega and all these guys. So I really believe that it's really very important for like artists to really be there if possible.
If possible.
So I was going to talk about working with Kendrick, because we're talking about you know, working with Davido, and what was it like, you know, working with him? What are some of the cues that you pick up? Because I believe that sometimes people just get excited and would want to write or work on what everybody already knows. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, people get missing or lost in, oh my God, it's Kendrick Lamar. But I feel like you're one person that's able to speak your truth when it comes to what you think and what you're seeing. And so what was that process like for you? What were some of the great times or the down times and all of that?
Kendrick was, I mean, of course, who doesn't want to work with Kendrick? It was really one of the moments where there's like pinch me moments. I still didn't even believe it, because I remember everything was very short and sudden. How when they reached out and having to sign an NDA, they were like, "Yo, it's an A-list talent." So my mom like, who? So me, I was even thinking out loud. Then after signing the NDA, I realized that it was him. I couldn't
shout.
And then is really like, I mean, of course, like it was a lot, but having to even work on that project and going mute. I remember when it was online, people were like, oh, they see him, that like deep down, you know, you want to say something, but again, you can't. I was just quite this whole period when it was happening. But on set with him, one thing I realized that I always tell my friends that these A-list stars, I don't know for the others, but for him, he's very humble. That's one thing I learned of him, because I've had terrible experience with some artists from this side, how they work and whatnot. And he was very chill. He was willing to listen to the art guys, like the photographer. He would go to him and ask him, are you okay with the shot? And these are the things that sometimes you make the people working with you feel very at home. Like, it's not always about your guys, like, oh, I'm here and that. At the end of the day, it's creatives who are making you out, bringing your work out there. Without them, nothing works. So that humble moment where he was very open and all that was really very inspiring to see.
And now, follow up, looking at creatives, right, working with like A-listers that way, and then working with A-listers here. What's the difference for you? What would you say would be like takeaway, like standouts for you?
Time consciousness.
Some people here give them straight bullets.
I think even here, can you
time consciousness is what Ekow Barnes said.
Then you have taken it away.
Yes, time consciousness.
Okay.
So, Essie, do you have a follow-up, or can I?
Oh no, I thought Ekow, are you done? That's the only issue.
The only thing. I mean, okay. Unless you want me to say more, but I feel like
that's
we have a time culture issue, and I'm not. When I say we, I'm part of it. But sometimes I feel like we should read the room, especially on the project that we are on, because, like again, I said, there are creatives coming together to put together something for a project or whatnot. So imagine Lenny telling me to come at 6 and she being maybe from 4:30, and at 6 you're not there. Everyone is
you're
ready
accurate
waiting
with your
for
timing anyway.
Thanks. And waiting and not like things not working. You come also giving attitude. it's a bit
It reminds
They
me
come
of
with attitude.
Andrew Adote's story.
Yeah.
You know, when, when he
Yeah.
gonna fly.
That story.
It's a thing that has been there. It's deeply rooted. That's why we have this Ghana man time
Yeah,
concept,
GMT.
which I
No,
dislike
but
so
Lenny,
much.
that particular story
I
is not Ghana
dislike
man time.
Yeah,
so
It's
much.
that one is just
It's just disregard
But-
for time.
But anyway, I like that Lenny mentioned Davido and AC mentioned Kendrick Lamar, but I'm going to bring it back home. Now, in as much as you have worked with, top artists, top creatives like the A-listers and whatnot, you also make sure that you avail the platform or extend the opportunity to people also from this part of the world who are doing amazing. And an example is yesterday when we did a story on
Tribe of
Jude,
God.
Tribe of God.
Yeah.
Tribe of God on the being featured in the GQ, and I know that you facilitated that as well, even though now you've left GQ and you're with Guzang, right? I know that you're with Guzang now 2025. That's exciting to see, because then we know that it's going to afford us more platforms. Now I want to find out from you, it's good that you're spotlighting people from this side, because I also know where Tribe of God has come from being Glatch to evolving into what it is today. Now we see everything that you guys are doing outside there. What is your plan, or how do you intend to kind of, I don't want to say, or for want of a better word, say replicate that and make sure that, because I think that we have a fashion industry here. It's bubbling. It's not very out there like
Buoyant.
that. It's not very buoyant, but it's, so what are you guys doing to make sure that the scene over here can also be vibrant with the kind of plugs and platforms that you have?
That's a good question. I think I started off again having to write about emerging talent, and which I still do. And one thing I realized was I saw that every now and then the stories that people come to tell about us as Africans was more like what they see. So even the way they could say, oh, Lenny is a good girl, but the way they will script it, there's an agenda and every now and then. So that was one thing that I was always trying to prevent. And so having to like push emerging talent, Ghana is home. So always, whether I'm with, I don't know where the next 10, 15 years old I will be, but like in terms of my career, I would always want to be pushing us, and I still do that behind the scenes. Sometimes just, okay, hey, this person is coming out with this, could you help? Even though I'm not going to write, I'll make sure someone does it, or maybe the team will do it. And when I got the role with Guzan, that's one thing that I was really excited, because everything that I stand for was what they were willing to give or what they were doing. And I was like, you know what, being an editor now is like you have like a lot of leverage, and you can say, okay, you know what, I would want to do this story, and you can go back and forth with it. If they agree, you're good to go. But sometimes when you're working with like publications, the politics is a lot, because again, this is a YT people company, so you know they don't really get this why you want to do African story, and or we think this is not good. Most of them, or some of them, love the trendy stories because they feel like that's him. But there's that young guy somewhere who is also coming up, who is so equally very talented, but he doesn't have that platform. How about that? So for me, it makes me I feel very humble whenever I see like how we started. When I say we, the likes of the Benewers and all that, I remember we used to talk about things and we never thought that we'll ever even get here.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting that this new years or this new career path of mine, I'm really willing to like do more for us, not just Ghana, Nigeria, because again, being an editor, there's different stories that we are trying to do in terms of whether it's digital covers. I've already started my first project with them, and wish me luck. So
Best of luck then.
it's
Okay, finish that.
it's really exciting, and I really can't wait like to do more with them. Yeah.
Okay, so my follow-up, you actually like touched on a little bit of it, you know, in highlighting or doing more for that creative somewhere in the corner who's not being recognized. Now, I know that you know you're aware, you're aware of what's it called, there's several like street fashion brands like streetwear. You know, we have some of the big ones like what's it called, FTY, you know, and all, like there's so many of them. I think human there's a new one, Humanly Possible. I think you should look into that one.
Oh,
as
that's
well.
a nice name.
Yeah, Humanly Possible. This guy, he's doing amazing on Dance God, has been rocking his outfits. I've even got one of his outfits, you know, and this one as well, Drip Dog, he's also a Guardian, but like he's outside and stuff. And I think that there's several of them that also need to be highlighted. Now, how if you are not in touch with them, like, I mean, maybe you've not seen their stuff, how would guys like that be able to reach someone like you, you know, for extended opportunities and stuff like that?
It's very easy. I think, again, everything should be structured, because I feel like the fact that you want to write about someone, as people, sometimes we feel very entitled, decide, and people feel like, because you work for JK or you work for 3 Music, you have to be here. No.
Yeah.
The process, you just don't reach out to, like I always say that, I think I've said it here before, where people feel like, because they are designers, so I need to check you out, so you just send me your
Stuff.
work via there. Hi, hello, that won't help. For me till now, every brand I want to work with, hey Jeff, hey Lenny, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Yeah.
Because obviously I don't have access to your email. The more you give it to me, I'll reach out professionally to you via email. So for me, that's one thing that I always advise, like, take your career very serious, because a lot of them sometimes too, it's really annoying having to see them and they feel like, because I'm good. No, it's not just the talent. Career path works. You need to also be very professional, because out there, it's business. People are paying you, your consumers are ready to buy from you. How are they seeing that? Instead of you coming online to say, this is when I'm releasing you don't say anything like, nah. So everything needs to be very planned. So that's one thing for me. Okay. I'm really willing to work with everyone, but like, also again, there's a principle, like,
right.
Because you speak on professionalism and then also emerging talents, right? Let's look into what the branches of fashion could be. What are the job openings in the fashion industry beyond what we see as tailors, as seamstresses, and then now what everybody wants to be called a fashion designer, right? What are some of the openings into the space where you don't necessarily have to be making clothes, but you can also be, at the back making things happen and then making sure that things are running smoothly?
There is a lot, and I really wish like a lot of the fashion schools in Ghana would really teach people, because I love how you made mention about fashion designers, because people wake up and they're like, I'm going to a fashion school, all with their mindset that they just want to be a designer. But beyond you being a designer, you could be an art director, you could be a stylist, you could be a PR for a fashion brand, you could be a like there's different things, a makeup artist, a photographer. But beyond, aside the schooling or you having the mindset of having to become a designer, when you're in the school, you tend to learn. And even let me use myself as an example. I studied mass communication, then I majored in PR. So you could see that in as much as now everything is really in alignment, because it's everything that you learned. But a lot of people want to, I want to finish school, I want to be a designer. But not everyone can be a designer, unfortunately. And this is not even me being whatever. Some you see and you're like, because you have money, no. Get a creative director and let them design your stuff for you. You can be the financier for the brand. So if my brand is Barnes and I feel like Jeff...
Is that coming? Are you giving us an idea?
Who knows, yeah. And maybe Jeff is a good creative director. I would hire him to what?
Please, so Jeff is Kojo Trip, okay? You are not getting it.
Wondering.
Jeff
God. Oh my God. Sorry, we went to the same high
Kojo
school.
Trip, please call him Kojo Trip.
So
beg you for branding purposes.
So if you hear anyone call me Jeff, it means that the person knows me, like
from
the person
way
has
back.
known me like from way back.
Uncle Jeff.
That's the relationship that I have.
Oh, were you confused, Issy?
I was about to ask if Ekow knows our actual Jeff. I'm like,
Ekow,
okay.
keep it Kojo Trip. But you continue.
Yeah, so if Kojo Trip can really draw, why wouldn't I? It's so weird. Why wouldn't I hire him to be a creative director? So I feel we need to encourage people that, it's good. The fashion industry is really estimated now 2.3 trillion dollar, and that's a lot of money. And we've seen the brands coming down to do projects, people flying out to do projects. It's just where we are, but it shouldn't limit us. There's a lot of opportunity now. Right now, the internet is free. There's anything can happen for, like, within 1 second. I could be here and maybe I'll just post something that's it. Who knows? So we shouldn't really limit ourselves and make it look like, I need to wait for somebody to come before I could do something.
Okay. Also, because you mentioned that we shouldn't limit ourselves, right? I think that there's been an influx of fashion houses and fashion hubs, and today is that, tomorrow is that, and everybody wants to champion sustainable fashion. I think that some way, somehow, sustainable fashion is a way that people want to enter into the space and look cool and make the money without even understanding what exactly that is, right? So let's talk about the increase of these brands, and if they are even doing the right thing, right, and championing the right cause.
I feel like this is a very, very touchy
very
area, very sensitive area for a lot of people.
Because some people are not even doing sustainable fashion, but they say sustainable fashion. They just slap it on there.
I'm just
It's a trend.
laughing
They've
and
jumped.
smiling at you because it's really funny how you just made it. Because I really, that whole word sustainable fashion, really sometimes, I wouldn't call it my act now, but like, you see somebody who even doesn't have any ethos that has to do with sustainable, and it's like they just want to say I'm a sustainable brand, I'm on this. But beyond that, how sustainable are you when, let's say, your way of producing is not even in the whole SDG goals? Because obviously the SDG
Doesn't
goals are
align
some,
with it.
it's not. And so when I tend to see that, I always question, it's just one of those brand who just want to make money, because again, there are several grants when you're able to do more with sustainability, you can get money from. So beyond that, I feel like people should really get their things right.
Okay. Okay. With that as well, let's look at our space. Okay, our space, talking Ghana, because you made reference to Lagos Fashion Week, right? Is there Accra Fashion Week?
Yes.
I'm yet to hear.
Yeah, there's
Yes,
a
there's
fashion
Accra
week.
Is it
Fashion Week.
as big? Because I'm in Ghana. I like fashion. I like style, but I don't hear Accra Fashion Week. But I can hear and see. It's very visible. It's always in your face when Lagos Fashion Week is happening, right? What's happening with or to Accra Fashion Week? Do you think is also a case of Ghanaians not supporting their own? And what are the things that can be done to also put Accra Fashion Week on that level? Because for Lagos Fashion Week, you see people fly into the country from, a lot of places just to participate, just as we see Paris Fashion Week going, right? What can be done with or to Accra Fashion Week as well?
Yeah, so to answer your question, there is Accra Fashion Week, and I think they are really doing amazing. It's really not easy having to do fashion show. I think it's the support. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
People, we don't sometimes understand why should I invest my money? Like, some rich man would easily invest in anything apart from fashion, because to them the ROI is really not like instant. But fashion, like I just made mention about how it's estimated now. So if you have the money, just support us, because it's not easy someone coming together to say, oh, I'm paying models, I have to do shows. If there's no money, a lot of people wouldn't want to also, because if it's not nice, why would I want to also, as a designer or whatever, to be on that platform? So I think, again, this new government should support creative arts a lot, because we do everything in this country.
We hope so.
Yeah, and I plead with my chest and everything.
My chest.
Full chest.
Please support the creative, because when you wake up right now, whether you're a minister, you're a pastor, you're a doctor, wherever that you were, it was a creative person who put it together for you. Even if you say, I'm not a creative person, you are, because you need to think, oh, today I'm going to the studio, I have to wear this, I have to. So we are the least when it comes to like anything. And I believe that we really need that support. If there's a support where Accra Fashion Week can get more, who knows, they can fly everyone to come, like editors coming down for it. That's what Lagos Fashion Week has gone into. It didn't just start. It was someone who's got a vision, and she's like, oh, you know what, let me do this. And now they have good funding from brands, and even the government also having to support some of the emerging talent for that.
You see,
I wanted to find out, do you think that the Ghanaian fashion industry has not yet found a way to get some of these investors to see the potential, because they do not know how to turn over that money that comes through? And what do you think that they can do in order to get people to see the potential in the industry?
Wow. So this is a personal, not for anyone. The discussions I've had with some, both designers and also like investors, they're more like, oh yeah, some of the guys are not serious. Like again, when I said time, you want to get money from me, I'm scheduling a meeting with you, you're late. That's even the first floor. Now maybe the money is on. Instead of you being transparent, oh hey, Lenny, this is how much I'm making. This is what I'm doing. There's no transparency. People are very slow to emails, decide, like different things. So sometimes a businessman doesn't care about your talent. To them, they see money. So the more you say, oh, I can turn around maybe 100 CDs to 3,000 CDs, that's what he or she is looking out for. And so they don't really care about how you go about it. Just get the work done. And that's where it's very scary. We have so many talented, I'm not going to lie, like the creative side, people are really amazing, but sometimes it's either the support or maybe attitude. People are very entitled. I mentioned earlier, it's like, oh yeah, because I'm good, you need to invest in me, but what's your business plan?
I'm good is not enough.
You ask them, so how do you see yourself in the next? And this is a conversation that a high person that I was talking to in the industry said, which it was really interesting. I was like, oh, this is the icon. My problem with the love, then when you see them, you're talking to, oh yeah, I want to be on Vogue, I want to be on this. But all this platform is good. Forgetting that you need to also build. Because when you build your brand, all these brands will run to you.
Yeah.
They will see that, oh, you are doing so or why. But if you are paying to like
get these things,
sometimes it's a bit.
Now, Ekow, I think Issy's, my question will be, or my submission will be a follow-up on, to Issy's question. And also you made mention of, something now about, you seem to have like ideas, suggestions, ways that we can go about, to get these investors, besides like changing some of the things like some of the things that we've been known to do over the years, like our time consciousness, response to emails. These are things that we personally need to work on, right? But for someone like you, obviously, for the industry to boom, we also have to have like government support. You were calling on the government to support. We've had people go into government, like the creative arts ministry and all of that. We had people go in there because, again, I always come back to the issue of policy and people pushing the agenda. Because if you have representation, if you have someone who is calling or pushing for certain things to be done, and then it's backed by law and all, legislature and all of that, then you can actually have something to stand on. Now, what is your stance, or as someone who is like knowledgeable in this area, what's your stance on or how are you going to contribute? How are you and some of other key stakeholders going to contribute to making sure that we have representation on the government front? Because I feel like currently whoever is representing us does not understand what we are doing. So I mean, like
this question,
I want to know you.
But personally, I think we are trying as a people, as every now and then, but like you made mention, there are policies, so you can push, and if it's not approved, what can you do? But my biggest prayer is maybe this new government will have their eyes on the ground and work more with young people. It's not a problem having to have like maybe someone who is 50, 60 to be a minister and whatnot, but like within that, maybe have like young people who can also advise, because again, this generation, it's like a new set of generation. Our mothers, they've done this, so everything that's going now is like us and the Gen Zs and the one who are coming. So it's okay for you to have some young people in your team, and that way it's easy for me to ask, oh, AC, Lenny, what do you think about this? I think this is good, but we could do it this way. Rather than always making it look like young people can contribute. So personally, we've always been doing the work. Like my little way I can do is having to write, when I get a platform anywhere, I'm like, oh, you know what, let's do this. If it's an editorial, if it's a fashion, I make sure that what I'm sourcing from young designers. Whenever I'm out there traveling for Fashion Week, and anyone who knows me very well, most of the things I wear every now and then is like 80% Ghanaian brands, from Tribe of God, Free the Youth, Kojo Kusi, Ajabin, Bio, like name them every now and then, because we think being fashionable looking good is more like having like the Gucci's on. They are good, but you can also pair them, because now they are luxurious brand coming from this side. This is Ghanaian brand, that's Ghanaian brand, she's Ghanaian brand. Then I pair the rewards.
Yeah.
And foreign brand. So you could not free ad. Yeah, so it's there are a lot of brands this side that we can also patronize. So my little ways, whenever I get a chance here, if I have a friend coming down, hey, who are the best designers I can reach out to for a project? Yeah.
But aren't there like organizations and stuff like where
are they?
Like I'm asking, like can't you, because even when it comes to the music industry, like I think we're having a conversation about IP and royalties and all of that, where you're allowed, like legally allowed to form organizations, like private organizations that look into some of these things. So if we wouldn't have somebody in government who properly represents us, then obviously I think you can come together, form a coalition of some sort.
Yeah, but
push.
Not to call you, even if you form, you still like, okay, now we come together, we form a coalition, we want something. If our voice is not heard,
but you can outsource the funding as a coalition, as an organization.
Yeah, I get it, but you still need backings, because the truth is, everything that we do, right, as a team, if right now, and this is a personal thing, some of the projects I've been on, like, aside the writing, I have my agency, and we tend to work on projects. Right. So sometimes as a creative, I have an idea I want to do, but like there's no fund, and I can't use the little money I'm making to do that. Yeah. So I need funding. Sometimes they will go like, oh yes, it's good, but we would want maybe an approval from
this. So
you get it. So regardless, when I say support, look at how I'm sure you guys have heard about how creatives this side really struggle to get visas. Yeah. That shouldn't be it. It's like people doing this good thing every now and then. The moment you get to an embassy and they see everything, from theories from here, they need to give, because they know that you are doing something, but like you need to be calling, and it's really sad. When I was going for BOF, it was really like a whole struggle before I got my visa, and I'm not here to say bad thing about, but like I feel like as creatives, we also need to be be prioritized and know that we are the ones making the country move. Strides, everything that you watch are creatives doing it for you. Your political campaign is a creative who is taking the picture, the video, the sound.
Yes, we are the least. Them look good.
You get it. So whenever it comes to a creative conversation, I get very emotional about, because
it's right that you do get emotional.
We all do.
It's some way. Yeah, it's some way. So it will be good, and I'm really open to have that discussion of being a part of an organization that they are really going to be very transparent about things like this.
Still talking about the money, right? Before you switch, still talking about the money. We've spoken about the other side. Now let's talk about the creatives themselves. You've mentioned going to Lagos Fashion Week and other things, other events outside Ghana. At the point, have you funded some of these things yourself, and what do you think about creatives investing in themselves in order to be seen outside?
Yeah, you have to, because that's one thing that people feel like, right now, because your trip is doing this, you just might never know the money he's invested in. When I started going to Lagos, it was my money, like every now and then. And there was one time I had to even use my fees and all, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm not saying go spend when you cannot, but like, we always want to, again, wait for someone to... Sometimes you also need to also put in money. That's why they always say the rich people are always getting rich, because when I meet a rich person, there's always money. Either they are gifting someone that, okay, I've seen that AC has this company, I want to work with her. Or she was wearing Rolex, can I buy for her? I'll buy maybe the new Rolex. That's how rich people really connect. So always, we also need to be... The little that we have, investing again in yourself is more like... I might not have the money for the big trip, but I can go to Lagos by bus. You can start small. I mean, I'm not here to say you need to know, because it's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you, but like, it's really worth it. Like, now I look back and I don't regret anything.
Right.
It's really it was really tough, but also investing in what works for you, your brand and all that. That's how people get to see you. Yeah.
Looking at fashion on the global scale, I saw a couple of months ago, maybe several months ago, that Ahinema, right, was selling on a certain website, which I don't remember, for several hundreds
Was it Farfetch?
of dollars. I don't remember if it's far-fetched, but
It's usually
several.
far-fetched.
I wish I
The
could
price is
remember.
far-fetched.
Right. I wish I could remember the website, but it's selling at a really high cost, right? Now, on Gazant's Instagram as well, I see that they transformed Ghana Must Go, which we have pictures too. So while you're answering the question, we'll be rolling the pictures as well. How do you think that our culture, our traditions, and some trends in our space have influenced the global fashion community?
We have Africa is I always say this, we are not a trend. It's something that we came to meet, and I always tell people that when you take Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, Ivory Coast, you will not finish if you want to tell a story. Even just taking the Fantis, the Ashantis, the Gans, like everyone has this different cultural story attached to their tribe, and when you start to tell it, you might not finish. And that's why we've had brands coming down. They will like, I'm coming to do research. We see maybe a white person coming down, going all the way to the north just to do research, and the next thing, they have a shea butter brand. Someone goes to Bonway and you see they've done some kente. Why? Because they see some things that sometimes we might not even see. Culturally, Ghana is beautiful. When you go out right now, there's fashion every day. The woman carrying the load, when you see, it's visually nice. Oh, okay, I have this idea. I could actually put her maybe in a print. The next thing, the person prints it out. They're making money off it. So there's beauty in the chaos sometimes. Yeah. And so I believe that it's not us, it's about them. And that's why we need to protect what we have. And that's why we need to tell more stories. I've had problems with some of our people where on project they're like, oh, I don't want to wear local brands. Sorry, but
what
like,
do you term local brands?
Yeah,
though?
You get me. There are brands that you can wear. No one. If I had lied to you that maybe I'm wearing a Gucci, you might believe.
We'll believe it.
You get
of
it.
course.
So there are also nice brands that you can tap into, and the more, oh hey, could you? I see you at this show. Which brand is that? And the next thing, that person too is blowing up, and that's how the world get to see us. Nigerians are really doing it. Like every now and then, Fashion Week, you see some of their stars. Even if they are wearing all the top brands, there's an element of
Niger in it. I agree. Yeah.
And so for us, we are doing it, but like it's a bit subtle. We need to tell our story more. Inculcate whatever you have. The stories, if you're creative, if you're a writer, if you're a musician, find ways and means. If I'm shooting a music video, how do I go about it? How do I tap into my story? And that's one thing that I always do. There's a lot of stories that I could tell, and from this side, without having to even make it look like, oh, we are trying to talk about poverty porn. No, there's no poverty porn. Ghana is beautiful. How do you adapt to it?
Tap into it. Because you made mention of the local designers, right? There's a conversation that a lot of people have that some Ghanaian designers are more expensive, okay, than all of these already known brands, right? So, for example, if you want to buy maybe a dress from Lenny, for example, and Lenny is selling her dress for 2,000 Ghana cedis, 3,000 Ghana cedis, and then you can get another dress maybe from another designer which is not Ghanaian or African, and that is going for 1,500 Ghana cedis. That's if you even change the currencies, right? You'd rather opt for that than buy Lenny's own for the 2,000 or the 3,000 Ghana cedis. What's the reason to you, having worked in the fashion space, what would you say is the reason why the Ghanaian manufactured or the locally manufactured clothes, some of them are that expensive?
It's a bit tricky, but I think I believe that it's okay for you to buy Lenny because, again, the brand that maybe you wanted to buy that is 1,500 and yours being 2,000, it's all production cost. Okay. And we all know that things here are expensive. Like if I'm a designer and let's say I'm making like batik and all that, I'm making my skirt is a woven one. The person who is weaving that skirt, I need to pay that person the yarn or the travel cost. So sometimes I understand where I see it online and that that's why I said it's tricky. It's not easy to really come out with a collection. And so I believe that there are ways and means you can support, but I don't think that whole is expensive. Some is not worth it because again, I believe in quality.
Yeah.
So if I'm buying Kojokusi, I'll make sure I check everything. If he's saying he's charging me for 1,000 CDs, and I realize that the finishing and everything is on point, and if I'm going to wear this anywhere in the world, and people will applaud me, why not? So I believe that quality. If the designers bits or the stuff that they are making, there's quality in it, I think it's worth the price. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
So
Yeah.
buy Ghana, wear Ghana, and regardless, and then also just focus on quality.
Focus on that's the key thing, because again, we shouldn't support mediocrity.
Yeah.
Regardless of me buying Ghana doesn't mean that I come and
You
make
should give me anything at all.
If you do very good things, and we see the likes of the Christy Browns and all that, they are from here. People are wearing them globally because what? I'm not sure you walk into Christian and tell her it's expensive.
No, hey,
She's
you
there.
know,
You get it. So
where
that's why
you're
I'm
going
saying,
to. Yeah.
If your stuff are good, people would want to really,
Okay, Ekow, we are going to wrap on the conversation now, but I just also want to say to you that whatever you envision for yourself, whatever trajectory that you want to get on, just go and ace it like you already have been, but ace it, on a larger scale. And I think that for the fashion space as well, you are very much appreciated. And for the creative space generally, we see you, we applaud you, we hail you, and you're doing amazing. So just keep going, keep doing your very best, just as we also do here on the Culture Daily Show. All too soon, 3 hours have just gone by really fast. It is 10:01 and it is time for us to go, but we'll be back again tomorrow on Culture Daily. Remember to send in your birthday shouts, okay? And like I always say, we are here ready and poised to shout your favorite person out. And that said, I cannot leave without again wishing my sister Ruby Ekow Barnes a very happy birthday, and I hope that you have the very best of the day and the year and the season. Do you want to say anything? Ruby. Pancakes loading for Kojo Trip. But anyway, do have a good day, everybody. And today is a Wednesday, so crush on a woman today. That only means that be nice financially and economically if you need to be, whatever the role the woman plays in your life, not at your own risk. It could be your mother, your sister, your auntie, your niece, just anyone, okay? Your wife as well, your girlfriend. Just be nice to a woman. It is Wednesday, so happy Woman Crush Wednesday going out to every woman out there. My name is Lenny Lomote. Been doing this with Kojo Trip and so far. Do have a good day. Bye.
Culture Daily was brought to you by Telecel.